Hey everybody, I am Red King from Cinema Robots, and welcome back to Space Engineers. So today is Thursday, which does mean that there's a new update. This one's a little bit interesting because it's actually a very minor update, in the sense of stuff they put in the game, so like physical objects and blocks they put in the game. It's super small. This one only has one new block addition, but it has a lot of bug fixes, and this is actually the biggest one for me. So everyone here, also there is a bug right now. You can actually hear my sound, which is pretty loud. See how it is pretty loud, but as soon as you go into options, go into audio, it automatically adjusts and it tells you how loud it should be. So now everything is suddenly working, it registers. It's really strange, but they'll fix it soon. One of the biggest bug fixes they did, everyone had this big bug issue. First off, I want to see. Nope, doors are still wonky. But they did discover, I mean, we all did have that issue with the spotlights, and as you can see, it's really dark in here. It's dark intentionally. But now, they have fixed the spotlights, so now they are usable again. We can totally put them to use in the in survival or in eternal darkness, whatever we need. The one weird thing I did notice is that they look like they're always on. It's really kind of strange, and then when you turn them on, it's really odd because you can see like the entire thing lights up. It's kind of cool, but it's kind of strange. I don't know. I really like it. It kind of adds extra dimension. And I was going to put a door there, but I got lazy, so I decided to come over here. So, I wanted to talk about the new addition, which is the advanced rotor, as they call it. And as you can see, there's the normal rotor right here, which has its normal shape, and then here's the advanced rotor. And the only real difference between the two is this door. And as you can see, this door lets me access everything, touch everything, move everything around. And that's just because that is an actual access door. So between the large ship ones, they look exactly the same. Like, I mean, this has a little component. And this, I mean, some people are saying this one makes this one kind of redundant. But in my opinion, it doesn't. Because this one doesn't have the door on it. And though they may be easy to make from the same materials, like exactly the same, which is kind of weird. But they might have been in a rush to put it out. I feel like this one is still kind of the staple one, whereas this is like the new adjustment, so you can do stuff that requires reloading and you want rotation and stuff like that. I mean, it'll be really cool, and I have a nice example of it, but let's look at the small ship. So as you can see right here, this one actually looks quite a bit different. So as you can see, here's the regular one. This is actually this is small. This is very tiny in comparison to the reloadable version, which spins by itself. I didn't make it spin, it just spins automatically. And it's just really odd that this is so much bigger than this, but that means this has more size limitations, whereas this doesn't. And it's kind of cool. It's an interesting idea. I really like the idea of reusable rotors. Well, not reusable, but using rotors to load things, so you can rotate things and load them in at the same time without having a complicated contraption. And actually, I have an example right here. This is a good starting example, and this is actually their welder grinder machine, kind of just enhanced just a little bit. I only did a little bit of extra work on here. So if I hop in here, I'm going to third person, pushing V. As you can see, I kind of have this crab thing going on, but in that sense, I've added rotation to it. And as you can see, I put welder arm and grinder arm. I'm going to name it changing arms, if I can spell. And that is a group, and now I will put that down as a group. And so the big thing for me is that, you know, one side is welders, the other side is grinders. And this is kind of cool because now I can have a ship that's got both. So if I go ahead and I hit one, so now I have, you can hear the cool little sound effect it has. It's really nice. And one's slower than the other one, but it's whatever. I can fix it later. But now you can see it has grinders. And it's got, you know, the grinders, and it has the welders. And all I have to do is rotate it back, and you can use both of them very easily. It's very cool, because it kind of gives you that multi-tool feeling, where, like, you can hide them, and you can set them aside, and then you can do this. And I kind of like just the additional little setup, so then I can always have two welders and two grinders. But I want to kind of get into the rotator right here, into the advanced rotor. And I made up this thing with this, it'd have a better housing than what I have here, but this would be the gist of it. And as you can see, there's just little ports right here. This is kind of, it almost looks like a hook. But we are going to go over here, and we are going to set this up. So I have this already preset on the bars. This one actually drops the piston arm. And I like this idea because it kind of makes it more interesting to be able to drop things out of a station or something like that, and you need to reload because it's actually hooked up to a large container, which is then hooked up to that refinery over there. So if someone's dropping off resources or anything, you can use this. And this is actually the really cool bit. So I push T, and it unfolds those arms. So all of those arms are set up at exactly the same speed. They're all unfolding at the same time. And it comes down and it kind of looks like a giant hand, which is really cool. I like the way it looks. And then I have these bottom ones on rotators as well. So now I can have multiple ships dock at this station. And they can all drop off their cargo and they can leave and come back and do whatever. Or we can trade things as we need to. And it's really cool. I really like it. And you can pull it up. You can pull it up and have it a little bit higher up. But again, this would have a housing so that we could then rotate it, put it all back into setup. I haven't done it all at once because I'm terrified that things are going to go horribly wrong. But fortunately, they all rotated a different direction to make it work. And now we're going to go up. And it looks like a starfish. And I just managed to make those things small enough so it doesn't hit that. It's really cool. It's nice and compact. It's a very, I don't know, overall I'm really happy with it. It's really cool, even though it's not a ship or nothing like that. It's still a nice little, innovation in my mind. The other part about this whole update is they're actually talking about how they are not going to introduce new blocks or features to the game for the time being, but instead they're going to introduce fixes for anything that's going right now, like multiplayer or like the spotlights. That was a big thing that they needed to fix for us. We were all pretty happy with it, and you know what? I'm more than okay with that because Keensoft has, oh my gosh, they have continuously produced stuff for us, and they've continuously given us more things to do and more objects, and they just do it. They do it every week. Like, that is the most consistent schedule I've ever seen in my life. And you know what? If they are gonna take that time and spend it using, making this game better, maybe more stable, have bigger servers with bigger battles, or have multiplayer work better, like, I'm all for it. You can not give me some new little toy, because they even talked about, how they're going to, put out new stuff as they go, and there's still big ones they want to put out, and there's smaller ones, smaller updates that they're going to give to us. But for now, I'm pretty happy with what this game is, and even though it's still early access, I will continue to play this, and hopefully I can get more survivals up with Mr. Hewitt, and, maybe some more crazy things will happen along the way. But I want to thank you all for joining me on this episode. I am Red King from Sendmail Robots. Always remember who you are and what you are. Don't go causing any trouble out there in that crazy world. And always remember, if you're going to have a welder grinder ship, make it look like a giant crab. Because then you can do Solid Snake and go crab battle. Alright, bye guys!